How many of you that are here today actually know or have heard of the term hookah? What many people do not know what this is hookah is a pen that many people claim is less addictive and less bad for you than actual cigarettes are. However, this is not true. First off, though, let me just talk to you a little bit about the history of hookah and where it came from. Hookah can be traced as far back as all the way to the Persian Empire, in which Persian doctors have written and talked about hookah. However, it is a different name that is known as Halyan or Galyan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But anyways, they have found it in these readings and writings that they have written about during that time, which was many, many centuries ago. Hookah has many names such as hookah, shisha, water pipe, and nargile. But despite all of this and the recent craze that this is going on right now, many people do not actually know what this is and how bad this really is for you. The reason this is a local issue personally to me and has affected my life is because weeks ago I knew several people who got busted at school because they were smoking and huffing on a pen, which is what most of the time hookah comes out of. It can also be smoked from a machine. Right now I'm going to talk to you about the dangers of hookah. Hookah is just like tobacco, except it's different in many ways. You get the same diseases and things that you would think you would get from tobacco, such as lung cancer, oral cancer. Every cancer that comes from hookah also comes from nicotine. But there's tobacco, but there's also many other things. What people say that hookah is a better alternative because it does not contain nicotine, which this has been shown to be completely false, because even though it contains little nicotine, it still is extremely addictive as a little bit, because there is so much of it. According to GeorgiaStateSignal.com, just reading this quote exactly sums up what I'm talking about. It says, while hookah pens claim to be tobacco free, not all hookah pens are nicotine free. This is completely and 100% true, because the CDC reports that relatively small amounts of nicotine can be potentially fatal. And since hookah has nicotine in it in small amounts, it still can be potentially fatal, which many people do not believe is true. However, the statistics have proven this is true. So what exactly is hookah? Lung.org did a survey, and they went to an actual hookah bar, and the person exactly describes what hookah is and how it works. It says the base is filled with water, and a stem connects it to a bowl that holds a sticky lump of shredded, sweetened tobacco called shisha. Foil goes over the tobacco. You poke holes in it because that's how the smoke actually gets through once the coal goes on, Morbarak said. The hot coal goes on top of the foil. When a smoker sucks on an attached hose, it pulls air past the coal, which heats the tobacco and creates the smoke that's deeply inhaled after it bubbles through the water. Now this potentially sounds exactly like cigarettes, because you're taking a puff of it every so often. And it has the same side effects, such as MayoClinic.org says, as same carbon monoxide levels and tar and cancer-causing chemicals, which are also known as carcinogens. And it also poses dangers like smoking does with secondhand smoke, and can result in low birth weight if the mothers smoke it and they have babies. Now, like I mentioned just vaguely before, you can either smoke this through a pen, which is just about the size of the pen, in which you push a button and you huff in, and the smoke goes into your lungs and fills your lungs just like you would if you were smoking the machine. Now, the reason this is potentially fatal is because, as CDC.gov mentions in their study that they did, a typical hookah session, which lasts around 1 hour on occasion, contains 90,000 milliliters of smoke inhaled, in which typical cigarette you contain 500 to 600 milliliters, which means that there is 150 times more smoke inhaled during one hookah session than there is smoking one cigarette. This is why it is extremely bad for you. Now, what many people don't understand is how bad for you this really is, because not only do they smoke this much, they do it consistently every single day. So every day, it is equivalent of smoking 150 cigarettes a day every single day of your life. This can cause extreme consequences to your lungs and other parts of your body that you would suspect get damaged from even smoke. And this is just increased tenfold. Now, lung.org also issues some interesting facts that many people do not know to debate against the fact that hookah is safer than, let's say, a cigarette. However, many statistics have proven that this is consistently not true. There was a study, according to lung.org, founded by the National Institute of Health, and in this study they report that a single hookah session, which, like I said before, delivers 1.7 times the nicotine, 6.5 times the carbon monoxide, and 46.4 times the tar of a single cigarette. This is why hookah is extremely dangerous. Now, like I said, there are other health effects, and Wikipedia.org said that some people have 3 to 8 sessions of hookah a day, which, like I said before, is extremely huge amount. And Wikipedia also pushes it further to say that it is 100 to 200 times the volume of the smoke of a cigarette. So not 150, but up to 200 times the amount of a cigarette. And the reason this is so dangerous is because it is extremely easy for younger kids to get a hold of, because, like I said, with smoking, you only have to be 18 to get a hold of this. So there is a huge group of people that are getting hold of this. And they are also able to give it to younger people, and then the fad just keeps going on and on. You see this a lot with college students who go to hookah bars every night instead of going out and partying and getting drunk. They go to hookah bars. Now, the reason I bring this up to you is because I want you to know the true side effects of hookah and how dangerous it is. Don't let anybody tell you that it is not as bad as a cigarette, because in reality it is worse than a cigarette. So while they are telling you the truth that it's not as bad as a cigarette, they're lying to you by telling you that's not the truth, that it is worse than a cigarette. So I bring this point to you as a challenge. Do not, absolutely positively, do not smoke hookah. It is, like I said, I do not promote any of these things to be smoked, but it would be safer for you to go out and smoke a cigarette rather than smoking hookah, no matter what anybody says. So please do not smoke this stuff, because it is really extremely dangerous. My challenge also to you is, everyone you know, either show them my video or explain to them why hookah is worse than a cigarette, because many people, like one of the studies said, is on lung.org, his study, when he went into this bar, he said that almost every single hookah smoker in there said that a cigarette is worse. This is absolutely not true. So almost anybody you talk to will say that this is the case. So my challenge to you, please show them this video, and have them look up statistics that back up my point that hookah is bad for you. Do not smoke hookah, and do not be associated with hookah. That way we can prevent this fad from going anywhere else, and we can prevent the danger from being done. Now, towards the end of this video, I have added some photos of what hookah pens and hookah machines look like, so that you can tell what it looks like and stay away from it. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you found it to be extremely important and influential to prevent the spread of hookah.